Hi everyone and welcome to new episode of Pop Yap, and I am so excited to finally be back with a very special guest right now. I have Moa with me. Hello, how's your day been?
Hi, Milika. Actually, I'm having a great day. What about you?
I'm having a great day because we're having a conversation about you, and also because the day that this is released, your first EP Superstar is out and you can listen to it, and we will be talking about it. But I want to start with the beginning. And when did you realize you wanted to be a singer professionally?
This is a funny thing because I think that I've always known deep down that I have wanted to be a singer. As long as I can remember, I've been imagining myself on stage, performing, singing. But singing wasn't something that I did in my childhood, not in that way. Some kids are seen as, the singer of the family, like she's always singing and stuff, but I wasn't like that. I was really, really quiet as a child. So it wasn't until like seventh grade, I think, that I worked up the courage to start taking singing lessons and to actually, believe in the fact that I can do this. That was just like last year, I think. Yeah.
And what was the feeling for you where you finally were like, oh, I want to not only be singer but also release music and let people hear it?
I think I felt really scared at the same time as I was feeling empowered by the thought of it. Because before, I didn't really dare to think that this was a path that I could even take. I didn't think my music was good enough. I never thought about the possibility of showing it to anyone at all. And I've always been, on the academic track in my life. Just like solely for the reason that I didn't believe in myself. So the day that I decided that my music is good enough, I think people will like this, and I have to follow what I feel is right. Yeah, it was really scary because it was different. It was so, so different from what I had always imagined that my life would be like. But it was, as I said before, also extremely empowering, I think.
It is, and I'm so glad you did this decision because you have four songs out right now,
Hmm.
and I love each one of them, and I'm so excited to talk about them.
That makes
But
me
if you could
so, so
describe your
happy to
sound
hear.
to someone, yes, I hope everyone else will listen to it after this and will be like, "Oh my gosh, she's so cool. I'm gonna follow her everywhere and be a fan because you deserve so many fans." How would you describe your sound to someone who's never heard your music before?
Well, I had kind of a hard time figuring out my sound myself because I wrote a bunch of songs and then I was like, what is this even? I'm not saying that my music is in any way complicated. I know that it is very pop, but I had a hard time like defining it when people asked. But what I came, like, my conclusion was, in the end, that it is very, it's very much inspired by 2000s pop. So the hit songs, I guess, by the artists that I listened to when I was little. I think that's the best summary, I think. And I think it's also a little bit inspired by Schlager, if you guys know about it, Eurovision, all of that stuff. Yeah, if you're from Europe, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So it has kind of a humoristic twist as well, I guess.
Yes, oh my god, I wanted to say that as an European, I know it, and everyone who's from Europe knows this, and it's just so cool to put the aspects of that as well because I love Eurovision so much. I'm watching it every single year. It's so
Yes.
good. So, yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely hear
I
it.
love it as well. Yeah, I love it as well, and I think that people may not think about it when they first hear my music, but if you point it out, it's really obvious that it's there, I guess.
Well, I definitely heard it in a song called Your Number One
Hmm.
that was giving like you could win Eurovision with that for sure. What's a lyric you've written that you're most proud of?
um, I've been thinking about this question, and it's a hard one because I would say that lyrics is my Achilles heel when it comes to making music. Um, I I have a really hard time writing lyrics and stuff, but this record in particular, I think that, as I was said before, it's a very lighthearted to like at a surface level, and the sound is very lighthearted. But then there is this one song that is a little bit more thoughtful. It's a little bit more chill, and it's Garden Stories. And there is one line in the chorus. Well, the chorus actually starts with this line, um, uh, quotation mark, I've spent so much time in my dreaming. I've spent every dime on reliving the past. End of quotation mark. And what I like about this one is, like, firstly, it's very true to what I feel like my life has been. I guess I'm a very nostalgic person. I think a lot about the past, and I think sometimes that can stop you from enjoying the present. And so, yeah, I think I feel a lot. I guess this line moves me, even though it's me who has written it, particularly for the reason that it's extremely true to who I am and what I feel has been the truth for me. But there is also the aspect that I kind of think it's a little bit witty. Can I say that about myself? Because it's kind of a pun, you can spend time, but you can also spending money, so a dime. So yeah, it's a little bit quirky like that, I guess.
No, because you're such a great lyricist. Whenever I'm listening to one of your songs, I always discover something new about it in the meaning of lyrics and production as well. Are you producing your music alone, or do you have someone?
No, I produce all of my music myself. I have a couple of friends who are producers, who are extremely talented, and I always ask for feedback and from them. And particularly one friend I have, um, he's really, what do you say, like, honest. So sometimes he
Mm-hmm.
has really saved me, in the way that he has said, oh, you really need a guitar here, or you should do like a more smooth transition here. But I think, even though I'm extremely grateful for that and stuff, the rest is, I need to be honest, the rest is really me. So yeah.
That's amazing. I love women who produce their music themselves. Like, also one of my favorite artists is Erin LeCount. I don't know if you know
Yeah.
her,
Oh my
but
god,
she
I love her.
produces her music as well.
I love her.
So I was
Marble
thinking
Arch.
about you as well.
Yeah, I just have to say,
Yeah.
like, her latest song, Marble Arch, that she released, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something. I listen to it every day. It's really my go-to. I just love it so much. Shout out, anyways, I guess.
Yes, I love it so much, and I just love when women produce their music themselves because there's something so authentic and honest about it. So I really love it. And I wanted to ask, I was not 100% sure if you like produce your music yourself or not. So cool, very cool. Um, who are your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped your sound?
So, I think this is also something that I have had to think about, like, in a retrospective sense, because I have not really known. But after some time of reflection, I have come to the conclusion that I think that the fact that I listened a lot to Marina, or Marina and the Diamonds, as some of you may know her. That has impacted my music a lot. I have never intentionally sat down and thought I am going to write music that is inspired by her, but I think that you can hear it when I mentioned the fact that I really love her and that I grew up with her. So I'm not really sure in what sense it has influenced me, but I know that it has. And then I would say I think Avril Lavigne, or Lavigne, I'm not really sure how to pronounce her name. And then Taylor Swift. I've written songs where have I actually have sat down and thought to myself, okay, I'm going to try to make a song like she would have done it, right? So yeah, okay. Now I'm talking a lot, but I just need to mention also my absolute favorite, and that is Modulator. Have you heard about her, Milika?
I love her. I love her so much. Oh my god. Like nobody knows her and I don't have anyone to talk to
You can talk to
about
me
her. She's
because,
amazing.
oh my god, you can talk to her about, no, you can talk about her to me because I think she's my greatest idol. Like she's a genius. She's a pop she's just a pop god, and I don't know what to say. I wish I was her. That's all. So yeah, she definitely inspires me lots.
Yeah, actually funny story. I found out about her the night before her debut album got
Really?
released and I tweeted about it. Yes, I was like she posted about one of the songs from the album. I don't know which one.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think it was Countdown and um and I and I just really told her that oh my god, like you are so cool, and she replied to me and that was like so freaking cool. So yeah.
Oh.
I love her so much. What's your favorite song from hers?
Oh God. Oh God. Honestly, okay, from her debut album, I would say that it is Summer of Love, because it is a little bit like hyper popish. I love hyper pop. Like currently, I'm stuck on that. But if I'm going to mention like an all-time favorite, that would definitely be oh my God, what is it called again? Shoot. Oh my god, what is it called? It's from her first EP actually, that she released when she was like what, 17? I don't know. Because okay, let me just check what this one is called. It is, yeah, Shoot and Run. That's what I thought. Shoot and Run. Guys, if you want to listen to like the best song ever, it's Shoot and Run from the Starsick EP. Have you heard it, Milika?
Yes, yes, I've listened to all of the EPs and
Yeah.
the debut album as well. Like when I found out about her, I was like, I need to lock in.
Yeah.
But I my favorite song ever is Seven Interlude
Mhm.
from the album. It's short, but it just explains everything.
Mhm.
And also Bloom. But if I'm
Yeah.
but if I'm thinking about EPs, then Clean.
Yeah.
I
That
love
one is
Clean.
really good as well. Yeah, honestly, I just love everything
I'm
she
so glad.
does. I just love everything she does.
I'm so glad we talked about this because nobody knows her.
Yeah,
Everyone
we
should
need
know
to
about
talk
her. I
more
hope she
about
does
her.
Europe. I agree. I hope she does Europe tour soon
Oh my
after the
god.
US. So,
Oh god. Yeah, I would die. I would actually like, yeah, I would die.
what's the best and worst part of being an artist in 2025?
Okay. So, I would say that the best part is definitely the way that music making and distributing your music has been democratized. Because I mean, yeah, it's not cheap to buy a computer. I know that. I had to save for a long time before I could. It's not cheap to buy, your average DAW like Logic or, FL Studio, but it is still more affordable than when people had to be discovered on the street, like during the 90s. So that is definitely, yeah, I'm really grateful for the fact that I am an artist in this time and age for this very reason. So that's one thing. But the worst part is definitely the fact that there's so much music out there. You're you're, even though I love the fact that I can also discover other small artists and music that I would have never even been exposed to if this was, as I was saying, like during the 90s or 80s. There is just so much competition. Your music is literally drowning in the ocean with everyone else, and just standing out, that is such a big challenge, which brings me to this other problem, which is um that you have to be really really good at social media, I guess, as an artist. It is something that I've learned to enjoy, but it's still, yeah, it's different from if you were an artist during another age and time. But I still want to keep it on a positive note. So yeah, I think that being an independent artist in 2025, it means doing everything yourself, which is hard, yes, but it also means that you have total creative freedom, and you can be true to yourself in a way that was not really possible before if you were signed to a huge label. That yeah, I talked a lot, but yeah, that's how I feel anyways.
No, I'm so glad you discussed it because everyone thinks it's so easy because of social media and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but it actually is not. And it's really hard. I also have questioned that what's your relationship with social media? Maybe you can discuss it a little because it's a hard topic. Like you need to really be authentic but also protect yourself from the bad people out there.
Because there are so many opinions at the same time as you're fighting to, like, have opinions thrown at you, I guess. um like you just want attention. It sounds kind of wrong, but it's true. Like, you need to attract attention, or else people won't discover your music. That's the thing. Um so yeah, if I if I would explain my relationship to social media, it would be that it is complicated. At the same time, I'm really grateful for the opportunity that it presents. But yeah, it demands a lot of labor that is not always enjoyable, and that just wasn't part of an artist's job before. But as I said before as well, I have learned to enjoy it. Like now, I enjoy creating content, and I love interacting with people, other artists, as well as people who took the time to listen to my music either through social media or like on the platform. So yeah, it's complicated, I guess, but it's necessary, and so you just have to embrace it. That's what I would say about that point in particular.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's for myself. I'm not an artist, but I have to
Yeah.
find the people to do podcasts with. And sometimes I feel very cringe because nobody has zero idea how many times I had to send a DM
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't get the reply times, but it's fine, like you just need to put yourself out there and we need to realize that it's not cringe, but actually creative, and you need to be creative for people to find you.
exactly, because I
Do you,
wanted to talk about that as well. You know, the part where you're scared of being cringe, or like yeah, being made fun of, because I think that is what I felt was the scariest starting out, because I didn't have TikTok before I started making music. I didn't really use Instagram a lot either. So when I was like, okay, I'm going to release music, and people were like, "Oh, you should start a TikTok," and I was like, "No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not my thing." And then I realized I have to. Like, if I want people to listen to me, I have to have TikTok. It's the reality for an artist today. And for me, like, I didn't hate the idea of making a TikTok. It was more the idea of being perceived by people that I know, people that I know do not really, well, do not really have that relationship to TikTok. Like, they watch TikTok, but they have maybe outrightly said, "Oh, so I would rather die than to like make TikToks for everyone to see," or "Oh, it's so embarrassing having to do this as an artist," or "Oh, it just sucks being an artist in 2025 because you have to do this." And yeah, that discouraged me a lot. But when I stopped thinking about that, like when I got over that step, when I realized that I don't have to care what they think, because if I care what they think, if I give into what they deem as acceptable or cool or whatever, I will never get anywhere. My what do you call it? My mantra. Can you say that in English? I think like a phrase that you repeat to yourself and kind of yeah, let you lead you through life. I don't know, whatever. My mantra, I will call it that, um, as an artist, has been the price for success is quote unquote embarrassment. Uh, so yeah, I just feel like that is an important aspect of talking about, like when we're talking about social media and being a public figure.
I really think you should write like a book or release like vlogs or something with motivational things, because everything you say I agree, and also it's so inspirational for maybe other artists who are just starting, and they don't know
Hmm.
how to start or they feel embarrassed. So it's really nice that you remind them that it's actually not, and I'm so glad you did it, and I'm sure you're going to achieve so many amazing things.
Yeah, that makes me really happy to hear. I should think about that. Actually, never thought about it before.
Do you write songs more from personal experience or imagination?
Um, I think both. For me, the musical aspect always comes first. I always start out with the chords on like guitar or something, and then I try to get the hold of a hook melodically. Um, so sometimes I don't really know what a song is about until I've took hold of like a word or something, and then I make up the meaning for myself. But the thing is that even though I often play with imaginary scenarios or imaginary relationships, even it always comes from a place of, what do you say, like it's still rooted in something true, a true experience or a true feeling. So I think it's a combination, and that's why it's a little bit hard to explain.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely get you. But yeah, I've heard some in some of the lyrics and stuff that it's a combination of reality and imagination as well, a combination of both, and that's what I really like, because I love when songwriters are both. I love the folklore triangle so much, and it's all imaginary, and I love when the base is reality, but then something imaginary comes out of this. The I just love it so much. So, and I
Because
felt like you are that kind of artist.
definitely, and that's what I think is interesting about Taylor Swift's lyrical side, I guess. That she, just as you said, she makes up stories, and those stories can be true or not, but they feel nonetheless like a story, you know. And the importance, like, what's important is that it is a story and that it holds true emotion, but it doesn't have to be 100% true. It's okay to play with reality.
What's your favorite part of the creative process? Writing, recording, or performing?
um I I honestly, I love recording vocals. That is what I always look forward to, because that is what really lifts a song, you know? Um I I'm I would not say that I am that skilled in making up harmonies, but I really think it's I think it's very enjoyable to do it. I often like listen to the vocal package and I'm like, this does not sound so right, and I have to like redo a take, maybe like switch a harmony up or something. But yeah, that whole process and the satisfaction of having a vocal package that is so tight, I guess you could say, that's unbeatable. I love that. Like, more, I really love that. But I also really love performing. That is a part of me that is maybe not so apparent on my social media, because I have not had the chance to perform my songs that many times. Um, but yeah, I still feel like it. I have to say that because it's definitely true.
What's your dream venue or place that you would love to play one day?
Oh, oh, I have not thought about that. But I mean, I am from Sweden, so I think you can correct me if I'm wrong. If someone's listening who's Swedish, but I think that the Globe, or is it called Avicii Arena right now? Oh my god, I don't dare to say, but the really big round thing that was called the Globen. Yeah, that is probably the biggest achievement if you're a Swedish artist. So I would start there.
Okay, well, I can definitely imagine you being there very soon and hopefully like in a bigger cities and touring and stuff. And if we're talking about touring, if you could tour with any artist, who would it be and why?
Well, surprise, surprise! I would definitely want to tour with Model Tour. Like, that would be my dream, because as I said before, like, she's everything I want to be, and I feel the way of on my way of becoming. I feel like she just embodies the sound that I like. She is she has the brand that I like. We're not the same, of course, and I'm not trying to copy her in any way, but I yeah, I just her brand, her just her as a musician, as a person, she really resonates with me. And yeah, I like to get to know her firstly, but yeah, I feel like my music is like a more chill version of hers, maybe. And so I think that, like, from a practical perspective, I think I would be a good opening for her. That, yeah, if I dare to say that.
Well, if she makes an European leg of the tour, we can make a petition or something and spam her and be like, you should, she should take you.
For sure.
So, and
I'm
who
going to
knows, maybe
apply.
it can happen.
Yeah, I mean, you should never dream, you should never belittle your dreams. I'm definitely going to do my best, right?
Yes, well, I'm gonna do my best as well and send it to every group chat possible I'm in and be like, you need to spam Moa to open for Maud Latour because that would be a dream.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're moving to we're moving to your EP finally that is out today. And you can listen to it right now as you're listening to this. Well, first listen to the EP, then come back and listen to this because it's more important. How did you come up with the title Superstar and what does it mean to you?
Okay, so um the title Superstar was I did not sit down and I was like, I'm going to make an EP and it's going to be named Superstar. No, I wrote a song called Superstar, which is the title track. And then I figured that this is a good title for this EP because I had already picked out the songs before I named the EP. I had not decided on a track list order, but when I sat down and like got to the point of doing that, I was like, okay, what am I going to call it? What is the first track going to be? And I thought Superstar. Yeah, obviously. And that is because I figured out that what I wanted to do was what I call a concept EP or a concept record. Whereas I I play with the notion of being a superstar. Like what is a superstar? What does a superstar sound like? What are the different types of superstars that exist in the musical landscape? Because for me that can mean a lot of things. I think that the track Superstar in itself is very much a representation of maybe what you think of as a classical or like a classic superstar. Like you're thinking glitter and like sunglasses, you're thinking a pop diva, right? A pretty electrical sound, maybe a little bit of guitar, but that's all. But then you have the other tracks that are representations of the archetypes when it comes to pop and I guess like stars, because there is a track that is a little bit country in like early Taylor sense. There is a track that is more chill, more like bedroom pop, like Claro. Then there is a track that is there's more it's more pop rock like Avril Lavigne, etc. So yeah, it's a summary of the concept of the album.
I love this so much. I'm already thinking about some tracks that are already out right now at this
Mm-hmm.
moment that we're recording. And I'm just like, for example, when I'm thinking about the visitors, and this song for me is like being a footnote in someone's life, or being like not the main character, like a side character, and just standing by, like being a bystander in someone's life. And that's what superstar can be as well, when I don't know, like when, for example, their time is gone and they're not as important as they used to be. But also this song is very personal, from like personal life, obviously, like not knowing where I should stand and where I should be at this moment. That's what the song is about for me personally.
You saying that is really interesting because I have never thought about those aspects of that song. Because for but it's really true, and I'm really like moved by the fact that people like you, for example, have given the song your own meaning. Because it is kind of a cryptic song, I guess, but that makes me really happy to hear.
I love it so much. We're gonna talk about the record later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was the creative process like for this EP? Like how long did it take? You obviously said that you had the songs first, then the title, but when did you know that these songs are supposed to be on the EP?
Think that you could say that the groundwork for this EP was made during this summer, this last summer, I wanted to say. because I have always been very low key with my music. As I said before, I've made music since I was 16, and I did it on my phone, like at 3 a.m. When I went to school, and I made like one song every 3 months, and I did it on GarageBand, and it was just, no one knew really. And then last summer, um, I'm going to get a little bit personal here, but yeah, I came out of a major relationship in my life that spring, and so when I returned home from school, I finally got like the space and time to pick up songwriting again for real. Um, and so I got a computer, and I let it all out. I had so much, just I don't know why, but or I know why, but I had so much creative energy and so many emotions that had to be canalized in some type of way. So I wrote uh, about 30 songs, um, maybe more, but 30 songs that I would say are, that is a finished song. And I was like, whoa, I it's kind of problematic to listen to these songs just through the files application on my phone. Like I would like to be able to listen this to this while I'm listening to other artists' music. So I was like, oh, it would be cool to publish this on Spotify. So that is where the idea of releasing an EP came from. And so when I knew that, okay, I want to release music, I sat down and I made a document with all of the titles of my 30-ish tracks, and I started to like sort them all out, like which songs fit together, which songs has the same mood, what could be a single, what could be an album, and so on. And so I I came up with these 7 tracks, and I was like, yeah, they fit together. I feel like this would be a good representation of what my music is for someone listening to me for the first time. And yeah, that's the long answer for how this all came about, I think.
I love there's so many songs written. That's insane, but I'm so glad we can listen to the glimpse of it, and I'm sure it's beautiful. And as I said, it's out right now, so go listen to it. I'm going to repeat it multiple times so people really go open their Spotify and listen to it like right now. What was the most challenging song to write or record from the record?
Well, for me, it is two different struggles. So there are two different songs who could fit into this description. I think that writing, definitely Garden Stories. It was extremely cryptic. It is the one song that does not really have this classic structure as well, because there are, I don't know, 4 verses, and then there are like 2 chorus parts, I think, and an outro that is pretty long. So like first off, the structure was like, where is this going? I was like, am I even am I even going to finish this song? And then when I had the like skeleton for it all, I had to topline it. I had to write lyrics and a melody, and that's where it really got extremely hard, because just as I said, I don't feel very good about writing lyrics. I think it's just because it's scary to put yourself out there, but it's still something that I'm like, I don't feel that it I'm not a person who has a lot of words that just flow. Like I can talk about things, no problem. I can write about things like from what objective point of view, but when it comes to like expressing your emotions in a poetic way, I guess there's just a wall that I have to tear down. and for this song it was multiple walls. So yeah, I rewrote and rewrote and rewrote, and it was just not going anywhere. And I guess that at last it worked out. It obviously did, but that one I struggled with. And I think that the reason that I did struggle with it so much is because it is that personal. So yeah, that's what I would say for writing. But for recording, it is the absolute opposite. It's superstar, no doubt about it. Because I had been singing like lots at school. Um, we had been out touring with my band at school, and I came back and I was like, okay, I have to record this last song for the EP. It has to be done. I was feeling a lot of pressure from a time point of view, and well, it just didn't work. My voice was super overworked, and I caught a cold, and nothing was working. And when I finally got my voice back, when I had been on voice rest for like 4 days, that means 4 days no talking. As you have probably noticed, I'm a true yapper, so it was super hard. And I came back to like my room to record, and I was like, this does not sound good. I have done 8 takes and nothing sounds good. But I was like, okay, I'm still going to cut the recording up. I'm going to do the pitch correction. I'm going to do all of that. And I came to my lesson for like songwriting feedback, and my teacher was like, you can't release this. This, like, no, he didn't say that exactly, but he said that, well, this, you might want to retake this. And I was like, whoa. I felt that I didn't have the time or the energy, or I was just scared that I would never nail it. I think that the final outcome is good, definitely, but yeah, the road there was definitely bumpy. So that's what I would say about those two challenges.
Thank you for sharing. Oh my god, I'm so excited to listen to it in a full
Mm-hmm.
and then compare it, and come back to this interview and listen to it once again and be like, yeah, I understand why it was such a struggle, but I'm sure it is so amazing and everyone should go listen to it right now. Did the EP turn out the way you imagined when you first started working on it, or did some things change and you are actually glad that they did?
I think that the second is definitely more true, but none, like, the thing is that I didn't really have a clear plan, um, because I have never done this before, and I had never released music before either. So I was extreme, like, I didn't know. I had to figure out my brand at the same time as figuring out this EP. So like, naturally, as I was saying, I picked out the songs and stuff, but then came the step when I had to figure out, what am I like as an artist? What do I want to represent? What is my sound? What artists am I similar to? And I just didn't know any of that, as like, while having these 7 songs ready, kind of. So I think that there was no plan really. The EP was, I knew I was going to make an EP. I knew what songs were going to be on it, but the rest has been shaped by the process of finishing the whole product, I guess. I started out with a blank page, and yeah, we worked it out. So I actually have a lot to say about this, because it has been such an interesting and fun progress, really. um a process, I wanted to say, because, for example, the aesthetic and the sound and everything is influenced by all the wonderful, wonderful people who have helped me along the way. So, for example, what I did first, or like secondly, after deciding which songs I was going to have, it was that I reached out to a photographer who works in my town, Östersund. I don't think you know it, but it's in the northern part of Sweden, and his name is Michel Lebon, and he works at LF Productions. They do a lot of cool things. You should check it out. And yeah, he took a bunch of photos. He took like I don't know how many photos, but I got a bunch, and those are the same pictures that I used as covers and promotional pictures for the four singles that I have put out. But it's also the cover for Superstar, which has not been officially revealed, but it's my profile picture, etc., etc. Yeah, he took those. So I started to look at those, and I was like, what is this like? Like, what does this remind me of? And my thoughts were led to like Spice Girls, like Avril Lavigne, all of that stuff. And that's when I got the idea, well, yeah, my music kind of sounds like the 2000s. So then I had to work out like, okay, how do I make this sound even more like the 2000s? And that's when the musical aspect comes in, because as I said, I had these 7 songs, and I had a backing track for all of them, but I have really had to rework that a lot, not only because my production skills have evolved over the course of time, but also because, yeah, I wanted to shape the sound after what I was, going for. Because before it had just been, okay, I'm writing a song. I feel like this sounds good, and I did it. But then when I was like, okay, I want a brand. I want people to associate my music with this. Then the challenge and also the fun was in figuring out how do I make it sound like that, and that is where it this thing came in, where like I asked other people who are musicians. Like, for example, I have my friend Elias, who is in my class here at school. He's been playing guitar on some tracks, for example, and he has come up with lots of great ideas, and those have shaped the sound of the EP definitely. For example, the track "Let You Go," which is now out. Yeah, it's going to be out when you're listening to this. It has a lot of guitar, like tons of guitar. Yeah, that's all him, and a lot of the ideas were his. So that contributed to the final product, obviously, and also the sessions I have had with my co-producer, or like I don't, yeah, Jojan. Um, his name is Johan, actually, but yeah, that's his artist name, because he also releases music, and you should definitely listen to it. So Jojan, I guess, in English. Um, yeah, he has also given me lots of input, like, yeah, you should do this or this, and I was like, yeah, that sounds really good. And um, finally, I have had lots and lots of help with designing my graphic brand, like my logotype, which is on the back side of our CD, and also on like pins and stuff. That one was made by my graphic designer, Mons, and yeah, I gave him some ideas, some inspiration, and then, like, yeah, he did it. And that as well has just tied the whole brand together, and the whole EP. A really, really long answer, but it's the truth. There was no plan. The final outcome is something that I have created myself, but also with lots of other people.
Thank you for also talking about the art covers because I think it's also important as well. Of course, the music is important, but I am such a visual person
Mm-hmm.
and I love when artists take their time to create art covers as well. And I really love each one of these. Also, the Superstar cover, love it, obsessed. I'm so excited to finally listen to it and put the picture to the songs because I feel like you can really associate these songs to the art cover. But was there a song that didn't make it to the cut almost? Like you were really rethinking that maybe it doesn't belong here?
Yeah, it was. It's actually kind of a. It's not a funny story, but it was interesting because for me because the song that I felt this the most about was Garden Stories. I have placed it last in the track list. It is partly because I think it fits there, but it was also because I felt that it was the worst song on the record. I when I made that song, I was like, I need a chill song, and that's why I'm putting it there. But I don't feel proud about this. Like it's okay. I felt like oh the lyrics are not good, oh the melody is not good. I cringed every time I started singing on that one. And when I took the whole EP to my band, I teached like we played all of the other songs before Garden Stories, even though is not supposed to be played last live, and that was just because that was really just because I was kind of ashamed of it. Like I was ashamed of how much emotion it showed, but it was also for the fact yeah I just didn't like it as much as the others. But the funny thing here's the funny thing. um the day that I said okay guys we're going to play this next week, please listen to it, I got I got several messages from the people in the band saying, "Wow, this song is so good! Like this is my favorite." And now it feels like now it sounds like I'm bragging, but I was genuinely shocked because it was the opposite of what I felt, and so that's when I realized that what I think is good is not maybe like people's tastes is going to be unpredictable. So there's no point in putting down a song that you don't know what people are going to think about it. You just have to put it out there. So yeah, I think that's the one.
Well, I'm so glad this song is on the EP because it's so beautiful. And yeah, as you said, like the sometimes I'm looking at people's album or EP or just like rankings in general and I'm like, what the hell? Like why do you not like this song? But actually we have different tastes and stuff. And yeah, if you listen to the EP, I think you should write your favorite track of the EP so we can check it out and see what's everyone's favorite.
Interesting to hear.
Um, so yes. So I think we can go to songs and talk about them a
Mm-hmm.
little. So I've already mentioned The Visitors. Do
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk about the meaning for you?
Yeah, I would love to because this song does have a lot of reality in it. Um, because you mentioned to me that you feel that it sounds a little bit mysterious, um, and that is like I guess yeah I can agree with that, and that is because I wanted to be vague about it because the thing is this. I'm going to tell a little story here. So when oh god, different school systems. I don't know. Well, at least the 3 last years of school in Sweden. That's when you are what is it like 16 to 19 or 15 to 18 years old, whatever. You graduate when you're like 18 or 19. The thing is, between year 2 and 3, I was offered the opportunity to go abroad and study for 1 year. Um, and I would study in France and everything would be in French. And I was like, yeah, I want to do that because I hate this small town, the way that you hate this small town when you're 16. And so yeah, I applied, I got in, I I flied my ass over to France, and I didn't know a word in French, like almost not even a half, even though I had studied it for like what 4 years. Um, and I just this was I need to start off with saying that this was probably the best thing I have ever done for myself in my whole life. Like the it was something that made me grow so like extremely much as a person. I met so many wonderful people, and I adored really the the whole experience. But I need to be honest about the fact that it was also the hardest thing I have ever done. The language barrier, the cultural differences, the loneliness in itself, and also like just the age of going there. I was what I had just turned 18. I needed to become an adult over a night, at the same time as being extremely dependable on everyone in my like in my what do you call it, like in my surrounding. Yeah, um and so yeah, I struggled with exactly this feeling of, I mean, for me, I I'm kind of drifting away here. I know. I think it could be a little bit confusing, but hear me out. For me, when I was there, I was lonely. I came there. I lived in a family. I suddenly had just new friends around me, and I felt that they were all my world. I did not have my parents near at hand. They were back in Sweden. They did not visit me because they couldn't. It's too far away, etc., etc. So my host family, my friends at the boarding school, they became what I felt was my closest family, right? But I was always reminded by the fact that I was not as important to them as they were to me. Um, my friend group, I I have nothing bad to say about any of them. I would really like to meet them again, and I miss them. I really do very often, but I did feel very left out sometimes, and that is not something that I blame them for, but it just naturally became that way because yeah, that's that's what happens when you're new. That's what happens when you don't know the language. Obviously, you're not going to you're not always going to think about that, the weird like exchange student, right? But yeah, that is the whole the whole context of in which state I was when I wrote this song, because I wrote the visitors in the middle of the night at the boarding school when I was feeling extremely lonely, and I had the thought, yeah, I'm just a visitor in everyone's life here, right? That's what I am. While I felt that they were my whole world, and I needed a way to express that, and so yeah, that is the core meaning of the visitors. I think that it can also be interpreted in many other ways, as you said, but that is the raw reality behind it, I think.
Oh my god, I love this. I've only experienced like an exchange week.
Mm-hmm.
I was not away for a whole year. A lot of my classmates were in Germany and in Denmark and in America, but I've never had the balls to actually like go for a year. So I only went for a week, and oh my god, that's exactly the feeling, like you've become close to them, but when I came back, like we lost contact, and this is exactly what you said. Like I was just a visitor to them, and they were everything because I felt so lonely and like out of place, and it was different culture and everything. So yeah. I'm gonna look at it from a very different way right now as you share this.
Yeah.
So the second single is Nights Like These. And I don't know if you're familiar with a song called Party for You by Charlie
Oh my god,
XCX.
yeah.
That's
Oh my
exactly
god,
like,
that. Oh yeah, I love that song.
that's exactly the feeling.
Yes, it is.
That's exactly the feeling.
Yeah, I agree totally.
So maybe you can share your experience and where were you when you wrote that song and what's the meaning for you? Because for me, it's exactly like looking at someone after the party and like feeling so empty after party. Like that's the feeling for me, at least.
Thing is that it is exactly that. That like I don't sing that in the song. I don't explicitly say that there is any partying involved. I don't do that, but it is exactly on point, that feeling. Yeah. I was this is the story behind it actually. So it's funny because I was out with my friends on my birthday. We went out dancing, like we sometimes do. I kind of felt okay about this breakup that I was talking about earlier, and I ran into a girl that I have only been like mutuals with on Instagram. I knew who she was, she knew who I was, but we had never actually talked in real life. And so we were both drunk. We were like, "Oh my god, I love you. You're so cool, and we should totally meet up and stuff." And yeah, I felt just really high on that feeling going home. So I sat down and I I couldn't help but think of her. Like I thought so much about this girl, and I I'm I don't know. I guess I was a little bit infatuated by her still, you know. And so I that is where the line "I can't help but think of you," right? But it's this is where this is the, you know, the core really of when reality and imagination kind of merges for me as a songwriter, because I realized that there was a double meaning to this statement. I can't help but think of you, because it was this exactly this type of night that you referenced. There is such a particular feeling, like you can experience the same night so many times over and over again. This night where you're out partying with your friends or whatever, or you're going home from an event, whatever, and you have had so much fun. It was so great. You didn't feel sad, but when you're alone, when you're walking home and you're feeling cold, you're having like your face is all caked and you look pretty, but it's just you get this melancholy, just, you know, just filling your whole body. And you come to think there's always, yeah, I just I I always came to think of this yeah, this breakup, I guess. Because while I was thinking of her, I mean, that thought was still interrupted by the thought of what I had experienced back then. And that was always where my thoughts were leading. I could be laughing in a group of friends, and I would still, maybe my smile would just fade for a minute, and I would be like, yeah, I remember the feeling of that rejection, right? So yeah, that is what it is about. It's really about a night like that. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy because I was not expecting for when I would mention it that it would be about this. So this is so cool. And this literally when I listened to the song, I was like, this is exactly a sister of Party for You, but like in a more like poppy way and not like in like the radio way that Charlie does. But I love it so much. It's one of my favorites.
favorite. I know I shouldn't be favorizing, but yeah, it's definitely my favorite.
Another single is Your Number One. And I thought it would be a cute, like, little song about being someone's number one. But I feel like it's more about holding onto something that is not there. It's like that you are trying to grip onto someone so hard, but you know that it's already over. But what does the song mean to you?
Know me so well, Milika, because that is also exactly what it is about. Because just as you said, yeah, on the surface level, it is really just a little cute song, and that is also what inspired it. I had a little, summer fling or whatever. It was not. It wasn't even that. It was just. I saw this guy like twice or something, and we like yeah, we sent each other some messages. Like I was thinking about him, but I knew that he was not thinking about me. And so yeah, that's where that idea came from. I was like, yeah, I'm not your number one. That's all I know. But yeah, just this is exactly the same type of mixture of reality and imagination as Nights Like These. Because this guy triggered the idea of the song, but the deeper meaning was still connected to this breakup that I keep on mentioning. Yeah, yeah, because I had a really hard time to let go. That is probably what the running theme of the album, which is not weird because I wrote it when I felt like that. But yeah, holding on to something is not healthy, and you're never going to be prioritized even though it is the only thing that you want.
Thank you for sharing. Well, I'm so glad I got the ideas right, because sometimes it's hard for me when I speak. Well, I listen to songs first and then I speak to an artist, and I mean it's cool that the song has different meanings for different people, but I like to guess like what's
Hmm.
behind it. So, yeah.
And you nailed it.
And your last single. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I tried. And your last single that you released is Garden Stories, which we already talked about, and the lyrics are insane. And as a control freak who needs to control everything, I love this song so much because I can relate to it on so many levels. But can you dig deeper onto this song?
I can dig deeper if you want to, because it's really a rabbit hole. I wanted to say, sorry. Yeah, that is the definitely the running theme. Like, yeah, control freak. That is me as well. Um, but I think that it actually it was. Oh my god, I actually need a moment here because it's yeah, I think that it is more, like this type of coming of age films, where a character has kind of a, yeah, they grow a lot during the movie and they have a realization at the end of the movie. They are a completely different person. That is, I think that is Garden Stories is kind of like that movie, but in a musical format. Um, because it's it just talks about a lot of experiences actually that I have had, moments of abandonment, moments where I have felt out of control and I have handled it in a bad way, moments where I have felt that I could not let go, I could not just let things be, and it fired back on me. And yeah, I think that the verses, they touch upon those things, like what happened, um you were hurt, why were you hurt, by who, and then the chorus comes in and it's like, uh it it's like an analysis of the verses, like how you handle that, and the fact that you have been away your whole life and now you realize that that is that has just not been good for you, and there's a grief in having wasted, I guess, so much time, wasted that much energy. There's a grief there, but there's also a relief, like now you can finally rest in the fact that you can rest easy knowing that you're not that person anymore. You have learned to let go. And even though you get hurt, even though you may hurt others, you still have the right to be and feel loved. And that is something that I have always held on to, even though it has felt so horrible, and I felt that I could never find love. I could never be loved ever again. But I somehow convinced myself. I was somehow like repeated to myself, you you have to keep on trying. Like just because you get hurt is no reason to stop believing in love, because loving someone and being open to like being open to being, what do you say, hurt, that is the most beautiful thing ever, and it's the thing that makes us human. So yeah, I it's yeah it's there are a lot of layers in that song, and but that's how I would summarize it.
Oh, love this song so much. I love it. I have no words. Like just go and listen to it and your life will be changed forever because it's so great. Literally such a great song. I don't understand why it's so underrated. I will actually, when we stop this, I'm going to share it on my story and be like, "Bitches, listen to this because it's so good." Uh You have also other additional tracks on the EP that were not released, like the names were not released. I think I saw your TikTok where you released the tracks, but not like on Instagram. But maybe can you share about the other tracks as well?
So the free tracks that I have left in storage until today, it is Superstar, it is At Last, and Let You Go. So I will go from the top to the bottom and summarize this. Superstar is, just as I said before, it's your typical pop song, radio song. I think it's the song that I would say is the most Schlager like. So it has the cliches. It's not too deep, but it's still cool. I will mention something funny about, like something interesting about it though. It is that I wrote it about my best friend, because it she's my superstar, I guess. It's about what how that type of friendship between two women is just, it's not, it's, you can't compare it to anything else. So yeah, that's a funny fact about that song. At Last is a song that is a little bit more rock, I guess. It really isn't rock. So if there are any rockers out there, don't jump on me. But this sound is definitely more rock inspired. And I'm really happy about the outcome. The result was something that the sound was something that we worked out together in the band. So that's fun. And then there's Let You Go, and this is my country babe. This one is supposed to be played in a bar with sweaty men in their 50s. That's all I can say.
Oh my god, I love this. Well, you can listen to them right now. Go listen. I am gonna bully you until you listen to it because I'm excited as well to listen to this.
Sounds.
Um You also have a bonus track on the EP that will be only on CDs, and also you'll be sending links. Also, I want to talk about CDs a little. Like, when did you decide that you want to release CDs as well, and what was the process like?
Oh boy, this one. Okay, so the bonus track is first off, it is a lead that I did. I wanted to make a power ballad because I actually sent this song to the Swedish qualification competition for Eurovision. So I was like, I want to compete. This is my song, and so I sent it in, and I was rejected, expectedly. But it's a song that I am extremely proud of. It's a bonus track because it is still in a demo format, but and it will, just as you said, only be available on CD. But yeah, it's well, yeah, once again, it's imagination and it's fiction and reality mixed into one, because it does reflect my own feelings. But I actually got the idea for this song when I was watching Hunger Games, because there's this scene with I think you know it if you like Hunger Games. Uh, it's Katniss and Peeta in the cave. I think you know which one I mean. And they're they're just holding on to each other, and they know that when the morning comes, they will be cooked, and that's that's kind of what I'm singing about as well. But yeah, anyways, the process of making the CD has been probably the most stressful I don't know if I've ever been this stressed, because first off, we had to find a distributor, and that was not easy. We finally picked out a Swedish one that worked really well for us, and so that was great. But the graphic work, I'm not going to take credit for this at all. It is really just my graphic designer Mons who did like pretty much everything. But he worked so hard on this, because we had to have a booklet. So it's the front, it's the inside with all of the lyrics. You will see it if you buy the CD. There is this page where I have a little text saying thank you to those involved. There is the backside with the logo type. There is the face of the CD itself. It's just, there are so many measurements and so many colors and so many fun. You know, it's just crazy that he had the energy to do this, and I am so extremely grateful. So yeah, having that finished, it took I can't really say, but a month, I think. And maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot. Because I mean, he has his courses. He's an artist on the like he's mainly an artist, and so this was just a side project that the he did. So uh yeah, when we had finished that, we sent it in, and we got so many notes on what we had to change. So yeah, we just sent files back and forward for 2 weeks. It was, yeah, I we became really stressed about whether they would be ready in time or not. But thank God they arrived today, 1 week before release. So yeah, and I'm extremely satisfied with the results, and it is only thanks to him, really.
I love physical copies. I love collecting them, and I am so excited to buy it. And I am just excited for everyone else to buy it. So if you can, go buy it. And I'm excited for the bonus track as well. I'm excited for the EP. I'm excited for everything that is coming for you as well. If you could tell people, uh, if you could, like, how to put this question, if you could only put like one message about the EP that you hope people take from this EP, what would you say that you wish they would take from this EP? Like an idea, like a whole message about this whole concept.
Okay, so This is a really good question. I think that what I would like people to take from this is that own your emotions. Emotions are something that make it does make us vulnerable, but being vulnerable is the hardest thing in the world to do. Um, that is something that makes us strong. That is something that enables true connection, true communication, and it's what makes us humans. And just take care of that skill or nurture the skill if it's something that you feel that you want to be in touch with, because you should be. um yeah, just yeah, that's what I would want people to take from this, really. Yeah.
I'm excited to listen to this. You can listen to it right now. Again, go. Like, I'm very persuaded because I'm so excited to listen to it in full. And today you can, so go, go, go. And obviously, it's early to talk about this, but I always ask this, so I wouldn't skip it. Asking you as well, but you don't have to share anything if you don't have any idea. But what's next for you? Do you have already plans for new music and new projects and stuff? Or are you just stuck on this EP and promoting it and stuff?
Well, I would say both are true. Of course, I'm going to do my best to promote this EP because it's something that I have worked and a lot of other people have also worked on for a long time, and I'm extremely proud of it. So that is definitely true. But yes, Milka, of course, I have more things in storage. I'm planning to release not only some singles, I think in Swedish, actually. And then I am preparing my debut album. So there is lots of things coming after this. So don't you worry.
Well, I'm excited, so stay tuned. All of your social media will be down below, so check it out, go and run. And also, your the name of the EP will be down below, and I will share it on my story so you can listen to it. So really go. And last question, it's not really question, it's more like a space for you to tell a message to other aspiring artists or small artists, something that inspired you to become artist, something you would want to say to them. This is your space.
Okay. Um, well, first off, I know that it is hard to share your music, but you have to. It's something that you will not regret. It doesn't matter if people like it or not. You will not regret standing up for your music. So just take the leap. That is what I would say. When you're 50 years old, you can say, "Hey, I did this." And you can probably say that you did your best. And it doesn't matter the outcome, the important thing is that you took action, and that is something that you can always be proud of. So yeah, be proud and make the most of your talent.
You heard the queen. Thank you for sharing this. And I'm sure many people are encouraged and inspired. And also, I want to thank you for spending time with me and talking about this EP. And once other songs are out, or maybe even an album, we can come back and discuss it as well. I loved talking to you. I loved how much you've talked about these songs, and it you seem so passionate about what you do, and that's really inspiring even for me and many others as well. So thank you, and I'm so excited for what's to come next.
Angelica, it has been such a pleasure being here with you today. I love talking to you as well.
Thank you. Well, we will talk soon, hopefully. I hope you will be taking good care of yourself. Go listen to Superstar right now. It's out, so go, go, go.